I'm looking at the data log for this 114 mile an hour run. This is so beautiful. This is what you want to see. This blue and green is the power and the amps, so horsepower and amps. Look how smooth coming through the transition. Nothing silly going on, just a steady load coming through transition. The other thing I'm looking at is I did not get to full throttle. Power out right in here at the 263 second mark. I hit 98.4%. Made it actually a slight correction. Briefly let off, pulled it back up to 96.5. So 98.4% was max, right at the 263 second mark. And then this is where I gave it a touch more before I bailed, 263.6 seconds. So 0.6 of a second. I'm between 96.5 and 98.4. So still didn't hit full throttle in that run. But whoa, talk about power in this laner motor. So I like how this came up smooth. No hopping in the rear, just steady loading it. And when I let off briefly on the throttle and got back on, I got a little dip in the amps and the power. So right here, 462 amps. That's crazy amount of power. 17.26 horsepower. So yes, in that small pond, I am pushing it to get to speed. Need a longer run for sure is what this is telling me, but I don't think you could do any better. The other thing is this ripple current. This is beautiful. So naturally through the transition, it's at partial throttle settings as it's climbing. It's the ripple. The MOSFETs are feeding current. And then as you go to more full power, it's just flowing straight through the ESC is what my understanding is, right? My little understanding. But right here, peak ripple current pulling 17.26 horse, 462 amps, 2.01 volts. It's the mouse reading and the max. That's incredible. That's a healthy electronic system. 10% would be 2.96 on an 8S system. So I'm well below 10%. But yes, this is telling the story of that run. This matches what I felt driving it and what I saw as far as my read when I was watching it run. So partly also why I didn't feel the need to take a second run. These results match up to what I would expect from my setup, how the boat handled and felt as a driver running it. The other number to look at, and it also mirrors the handling of the boat, all these data log numbers and how that run went. Max RPMs, 48,952 RPMs. So that's a loaded RPM actually. The boat didn't have time to fully settle and free up. I'm doing that in a short pond, 114 miles an hour. But look at the RPM. So here's the red line. Look how smooth the RPMs are coming up on this run, all the way up to peak RPM right here. So motor RPM, mouse, 48,952. That's also a reflection of this laner motor. She's got so much grunt. My fastest run down Drummond Lake, the 135, I hit a little over 51 thou. So that's loaded and accelerating, and then I had to get off of it. That's the data log numbers on what I would call the first successful quality run with this Zippkits prototype version 2.5 rigger. That was with the Step Sponsons V2 bottom ski in the 70-degree turn fin. But I don't have words to describe how good this feels. Where finally figured out the variable, the issue that was giving me fits with my settings. And that run was as I would expect with the setup that I put on the boat, took down the White River, drove it, felt like I would expect driving it, ran like it did, no hopping, running 114 miles an hour in a small pond. So we'll let the video tell the rest of the story. Let's go with a rare, nice fall day in northern Wisconsin for 1,000, Alex. 79 degrees, sunny, some beautiful water. Start, stop, read, zero it out. It's reading. Let's see, sticks. Water's really clean. Woo, that ran strong. That was pretty. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a properly tuned rigger. Properly tuned Zippkits rigger. I am going to take that and go home. I need to soak on that one a little bit. Been a long time coming. Yep, that did everything I would expect Zippkits rigger to do. 70-degree curved turn fin worked. Positive 0.2, negative 0.5 on the props, yeah. Yes. Joe made a comment on one of those videos where I was still testing and struggling. That's your definition of success. I've ran out of things to test. Profound comment. And how do you want to take it? Taken the right way? You haven't found the answer yet. I did know, or was really sure all along, the variable, what was causing the behaviors that were strange to me was the curved turn fin, but I wasn't done testing. So for saw runs, this is a reworked what Joe calls a 70-degree turn fin. Doesn't come all the way around to 90, have all that surface to deal with. And I've also reworked this to where I got 0 across the bottom in relation to the top, and I peened that curl out of the leading edge. It's got a slight dip in it, but it comes back up to 0, so it's pretty much 0 all the way across, and less surface, less hydrodynamic contact. So the other part of this is when I made a decision to test that turn fin, I made a call. I'm dealing with a lot of power, so it's basically 114 mile an hour bench tune run. I went -0.5 on the prop shaft angle because of this high rake prop. So I changed a couple things here, but taking a calculated risk, I just thought I need a little down. If this gives me at +0.2 the lift to loosen the front up, to get some speed and stay down, I also need to consider the balance front to back as far as the power. So -0.5, but that's behaving like I would expect it to. So 114, and she's got a lot more in it. On that run, I did briefly get the full trigger. Not long, but I clamped it. But the transition, it came through the transition smoothly, and then the way I was behaving, I just went to full trigger right about in here. So yeah, like I said, what I would expect.